What is going on, everybody? Resale Rabbit here. If you look in the warehouse, it's fairly empty back here. And you know what that means? It's time for a warehouse sale. Today is Black Friday, and I am going to start getting started. I've got a short window to set up this sale. We open on Thursday, so today's Friday, so less than a week. The reason we have a short window is because today, tomorrow, and Sunday, I am actually working at the National Railroad Museum. I'll be on a train most of the day, so I've only got a little bit of time in the morning. And Monday, I'm actually going to be out of town for a funeral, so I won't be able to be here setting up Monday. So really, I've got whatever little bits I can get on the holiday weekend, and then 2 days to fully set up this sale. I redesigned the flyers a little bit. I really like this. It looks kind of cool. It looks like a grocery store ad. But anyways, we are doing two $10 days to lead off the sale. We've got an auction set up here that pickup is going to be the day before the sale starts. So I just need to get the stuff on this table moved and we'll be fine. That's all going to be special buy items. So it'll be quick to set up on the day before the sale. That is getting picked up on Monday. This is all also part of that auction. And then we've got some stuff over there that wasn't picked up from the last auction, so I gotta get that moved out of the way. So this is going to be our Christmas sale, which is usually the best sale of the year because Christmas. So I kind of went all out. I may have overpaid on some stuff, but it's gonna definitely draw some people in the door. For starters, we'll come in here. I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. A lot of these pallets of Nerf guns, we're gonna special buy them because we get so many of them. I paid up for them, but I think we should do all right. A couple pallets of leggings. Blankets, I've got Despicable Me, I believe they're 30. Batman, I believe they are 50. And Frozen, this says 30 of them. They are all twin size, so you're not gonna be able to put a Batman comforter on an adult's bed, unfortunately, but I think they'll do all right. My cost, I believe, was about $10 each average per blanket. So I'll probably special buy them for 20 or 25. Some more Nerf guns, like 900 of these Animal Crossing pillowcases. We've got diapers here. I've got several pallets of just toys, miscellaneous toys, which should do really well for Christmas. Here's two more here. We've got a pallet of Christmas. I've got a pallet of Christmas lights. I've got, these are Minnie Mouse sleeping bags. We've got whatever's in here. I think it's just mixed GM. That's Halloween costumes. I got it cheap. We're just saving it for next year. Home decor items, some LOL surprise puzzles, hair tools, hair supplies, all sorts of different stuff, and a bunch of snow blowers, which are currently on Marketplace. I don't know if they'll sell well on the sale. I'll probably try them. But this is, I think, like a $1,700 snow blower. And I paid about $550, and so I'm gonna try and get, I don't know, I think I have it listed on Facebook Marketplace for $1,200. I did sell one of these this morning. I had two of them. I picked these up at an auction over the summer, but they forgot to load them on the truck, so they stored them all summer for me. I just sold one for 300 bucks. I was bummed out after I bought them when I found out there were no batteries or chargers in them, but I'm doing all right selling one for 300. I don't remember what I paid for it, but it definitely wasn't 600. And if this one sells at the same price, it'll be 600. I also got a couple other things to sell on eBay, this giant switch and these two forklift chargers. Now in this space, we've got Amazon. Ben has been going through these and he said that they are actually pretty good. So I'm pretty excited about that. This is an LPN load, meaning it's all returns. No FC product, which is new product. There are pros and cons to both. I've mentioned it in previous videos, but basically LPN is going to give you better items, but there'll be returns. FC will be worse items, but they'll be new, generally speaking. This is the same load that I got for the last sale, the same type of load, where they filtered out apparel, food, books, I think, and then anything over $80 they kept, which brought the price down for me. A lot of people don't like buying cherry-picked loads. I love it because it saves me a bunch of money. Sure, I don't have the $80 plus items in here, but I still have a ton of good stuff, and we're not really selling $80 items in the sale anyways. Ben has been sorting them. He's got a whole line here for $10 a day. He's starting another one here. This is all stuff that he pulled from those pallets. However, as we go back here, you're gonna see a lot of like Christmas stuff. We've been hanging on to Christmas stuff all year. You can see the Squishmallows there. So we've been hanging on to Christmas stuff. We've been hanging on to toys if we have volume of it. So we've got a lot of good stuff in there. Like these Christmas, these came out of a boutique that closed. So these are actually pretty high dollar ornaments. I wonder if they have prices on them. $16.99 is what they were charging for that. So we're gonna put them right out on $10 a day and we'll see how they do. I doubt these will sell for 10, but I could see some of these going. What else? He is sorting over here. Halloween stuff. This is coming off the Amazon ones. We got Halloween stuff. We've got summer. We've got stuff that he thinks should go on either eBay or go in the auction. Oftentimes, there's stuff that should go in the sale in these. So when I go through it, there'll be stuff for the next sale. Then we've got a bunch of special buy here. This has been sitting for a while. This is a pallet of Christmas trees. Again, I don't remember what I paid for it. It wasn't much, but these are a whole bunch of trees. What I'm gonna do is set one of them up and then people just grab a box. We've got all sorts of different stuff back here, paints and stains, greeting cards, ice melt. This pallet here is all full of ice melt. More special buy items here. We should have a decent amount for this sale. So my goal is by the time I leave today, and I can't work late because I'm working on the train at 3 o'clock. It's currently about 10:03 a.m. So my goal is to have all of the center tables set up by the end of today, which is a tall ask, but this is the longest day that I have. I've got like 2 hours tomorrow, 2 hours Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday full days. So if I can have the center tables all set up, we'll be good. So I'm gonna start clearing stuff out here and knocking down these tables. We'll stack them up on a pallet, sweep the floor, and set them up for the sale. And just sold the other snowblower. So that's 600 bucks off that pallet. To be fair, I'm actually selling for $284.36 each, which comes to $300 after sales tax. I found when I say plus tax on Facebook Marketplace, it does not perform that well. So I don't know if it's a psychological thing or if Facebook suppresses the listings when it says that. No clue. So we do legally have to charge sales tax. So the way I do it is we're at 5.5% sales tax. So if I price something at $100, I'm actually selling it at $94.79 plus tax, which comes out to $100. So kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I could also just not mention tax when people come in, charge them for it, which that just seems, I feel like that would annoy them. So I don't like doing that. If someone asks to pay with a credit card though, I'll say, yeah, we'll have to charge you sales tax on top though, because then we're losing the 5.5% plus the 3% credit card fee. So in that circumstance, we'll charge them the sales tax, but we don't advertise on Marketplace when we're selling something that we take card either. So those being gone, kind of nice. Whatever 284, I think it was, times 2 is. I would guess I probably paid about 150 bucks-ish for that pallet. If you really want to know, you can go back to the Georgia auction video from, oh, I don't know, June, July-ish, when I was down there last. It was the last Georgia auction. Yeah, it would have been the last Georgia auction video, whenever that was. I think that was when I flew into Florida to Sanford and Son, and then drove up to Georgia for the auction. Anyways, let's continue setting up. Seems a little sad to throw this away, but I don't think we're gonna have lines anymore. I made that like 7-8 years ago, and we've used it for a lot of warehouse sales. And this one gets to go bye-bye as well. All right, we got a blank slate. We're ready to get started. These 2 tables I'll put up last. That way I can stage pallets here while I'm putting stuff up. So here is the plan. I put these up so we can have everything is signs there instead of down here. I've done this in the past, but it's been a long time. I always think about it after the tables are up, and because the stand down there, it has to be as I'm putting the tables up. And I kind of made them offset a little bit since you can't actually go in the middle. We're going to have clothes racks up here, and wherever the last clothes rack stops, we're gonna run tables along the rest of this wall. I have 2 bins, or maybe just 1, of those Squishmallows. Those will also go against the wall. As of now, I'm anticipating tables to go to about here, and then a couple pallets here for special buy, and then of course that's all gonna be special buy. That is the plan as of now. We're kind of playing it by ear, so that's gonna be kind of the last one that I do. And then I'm anticipating after the first week, we'll knock down all of this run of tables and put gaylords for people to dig through. That's kind of the plan. All right, so first pallet going out is this toy pallet here. It should be 164 pieces. I paid $588 for it. So like I said, I paid up for it. If I sell every single item in here for $10 each, that's $1,600. $5 each, that's $800, and I think we're gonna probably average the $5 because I have a feeling there's gonna be some small stuff that's gonna sit for a while. But this will look really good on the tables and draw a lot of people in. And the bottom pallet, I have no idea what it is or what I paid for it. I won't know until I get this all unstacked. Off that pallet, we've got this stuff. I could see some of this going on $10 a day. The puzzles are Polly Pocket. That looks like a fun game, Trolls. So this is all that's going out here. And then over here, we've got a ton of these Finding Nemo puzzles. I think these are puzzles at least. Yeah, I'm gonna look them up on eBay, but I'm assuming these will probably be like $3 to $5 a day. We'll fill a box of them. These are also more of those. We've got these Chomp Squad Play School things. These will probably be $10 a day, but I gotta figure out how to display them because usually this is the packaging. There isn't a retail box inside, so there's no picture. These, it says, Blaster, 8 darts, and instructions. So probably a Nerf gun. Oh, there you go, Nerf. So I'm gonna look to see these. I might special buy because I might have more of them. And then over here, we got these. It's weird because North Dakota isn't a real place. Let's make believe. But these lunch boxes, University of North Dakota. Maybe it's from a movie or something. I don't know why this is on a toy pallet. We'll figure out something later in the sale to put those. But these action figures, Beyblades, they're 12 in a box. I have a feeling these will be good for $10 a day. So I've got 80 of them, I believe. 12 times 6. Let's find out what they are. Oh, it's just the arena. That's a bummer. I was really excited thinking it was a decent toy. So, that's a pallet I wish I didn't buy. But, I mean, even here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 items. That's $210 if they sell in $10 a day. And I'm sure these Finding Nemo puzzles will do well once we get down to like $2 a day. How many are in here? 6. So there's 36, maybe 50 of them. On $2 a day, there's another $100. These Nerf guns, I should be able to special buy these and get, 15 bucks a piece maybe. So I don't think I'm gonna lose on it, and toys definitely draws people in. These, I don't know what I'm gonna do with. I'll put them out and see what they do. They are selling for about $20 shipped on eBay, but they're only like 5 solds. And to make it worthwhile, I would need to order boxes that fit this. So I don't think it's worthwhile. Don't get me wrong, this is a pallet from an auction that someone built. I wasn't expecting gold in there. I was just hoping to be a little bit better than that. It would have been a good pallet at like 150 bucks, no more than that. But buying toys right before Christmas is expensive. Toy pallets, that is. If I bought pallets of toys earlier in the year, I'd get them cheaper, but then I gotta sit on them. And it's not so much about sitting on them as I wanna sell them in the other sales throughout the year. So that's where it's tough. Now let's see what's in this pallet. I remember these. I thought there were a lot more of them though. I paid like, I don't know, 100 bucks for this or something. Ring for beer. I figured, I'm gonna count these out because I thought there were a lot more, like 900 of them. All right, this is right. It said approximately 600. If all of these boxes were full, it'd be 624, and this is missing some. So we might even be a little over 600. So these I'm gonna special buy. I'm gonna put at the front when we have tables or little shelves up there. I think given that it's Christmas, this is the type of gag gift that people will absolutely buy. And I'll probably price it at like $2. I paid, hold on, what did I pay for this? I paid 196, so if I sell 100 of them, I break even. I think I'll sell over 100 of them. Maybe I'll even do 3 or 5. I'll play it by ear, but I expect to have a lot of these left over. I don't expect to sell all of them. Whatever's left, I will just auction off as a pallet after the sale is over. Now we got this pallet. I spent $825 on this one. More toys. I'm already seeing some duplicates, and then these are usually a pretty tough sell. But there's also some action figures in there. It's got 318 pieces. Hopefully, this one is better. Somehow this one was even worse. We got a bunch of these foam rollers. No clue what they're used for. We got this Pop Rocket, Mulan, some of these. Luke Cage, more of those. A couple other odds and ends here. A whole bunch of the Nerf darts. This isn't a good toy. A bunch of these little foam farm animals and vehicles and stuff. These are decent. These are another style Nerf gun, and then more of the Beyblade things. Now it's worth note, at $812, 318 units, that's $2.55 per unit. So if I sell every single item from that pallet before $3 day is over, I've made a profit on every single item. That's probably not gonna happen, but I'm sure I'm gonna sell some on $10 day, 7, 6, 5, and so that makes up for the ones that we're gonna sell on $2 day and a $1 day. So I still don't think I'm gonna lose money. I mean, it's $2.50 a unit, but it's not gonna be, a huge money maker. On the bright side, having all these toys here will look really good for photos and probably draw a lot of people in, especially the first couple of days. So now this one, it's 112 pieces. It looks like it's gonna actually have some pretty good stuff, at least on top here. I paid, what was it? It's $275 plus a 12% buyer's fee. So like 300 some odd dollars, low 300s. Comes out to $2.75 per unit. These will almost guaranteed sell on $10 day. Looks like there's gonna be a bunch of these, maybe some Nerf. So a lot of duplicates of what we have, but these should be good. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like 6 of them. That's 60 bucks right there. Whatever genius stacked this pallet decided it would be a good idea to put the piñatas on the bottom. But I see some Play-Doh, which should be good. What else? There were some lunch boxes. There's a lot more of these Nerf guns, the same one that I found on the first pallet. Oops, and that's what it looks like. So I think this is probably how I'm gonna display it, like this, and then have the boxes next to it. And then a lot more of these Finding Dory puzzles too. This box came out of this pallet here. So roughly, I don't know, 16, 17, 1800 bucks I spent on these 3 pallets of toys. Not great, but it's gonna picture really well. If I can get 10 people to come to the warehouse sale that wouldn't have already come just based off of these pictures, and they each spend $100, that's $1,000 right there. Yeah, that doesn't factor cost, but it's a bonus. And then of course we'll have a decent amount of sales here. It is a lot of volume, and these Nerf guns should do pretty well. I'm thinking I'll be special buying these at 20. I'll have to look up what retail is. I think retail is like 35, 40. This will still be a decent little pallet for later in the sale, I think. There's some volume there. So it's getting pretty late for the day. I'm trying to clean this up. And then I need to edit and upload my Patreon video for today. I need to be at the National Railroad Museum for 3 o'clock. It is 2 o'clock. So that's probably all I'm gonna get done today. I was really hoping to get a lot more done today. Unfortunately, I didn't. So I'm getting very nervous about whether or not I'll be ready in time. So it's cleared out a little bit. I also transferred the diapers into dump bins. This is the pretty one that's gonna go on the sales floor, and then we'll restock from these. The reason I did that was because the pallet, the boards were spread out too far and I could barely get the pallet jack in there. So it's a forklift only pallet and I didn't want to move it. So I did that instead. But now you can kind of see these Christmas lights. These are the clips. Under these is all lights and these look brand new to me. Oh, it says new on there. So what did I pay for this? I paid $280 for it, or $2.80 per unit. The clips, I don't know what those are gonna go for, but there's only 9 boxes of them. The other 91 are these lights, and I would be shocked if these don't all sell for $10 each. So this will be a good one. I should get close to $1,000 for this pallet once all said and done, unless there happens to be more of those hidden underneath. But you can see here, it's lights. Yeah, I don't see any. It looks like the rest, a lot of these red boxes here. Oh no, these are also clips. So a lot of clips. These are all clips. This whole pallet is clips. Okay. Well, it was listed as, well, new Christmas on there. I wonder what the listing said. Let's see, assorted Christmas, 100 assorted Christmas. So that's my fault for not reading it. I think they'll still do all right though. I mean, I don't know what a box of clips goes for in the store, but we'll find out. That's a real bummer. Because most people, by the time our sale is a week after Thanksgiving. I think most people have their Christmas lights up already by then. But at $2.80 a piece, I feel like I'll do all right, unless maybe they retail for $5. I have no idea. Again, though, it'll stage nicely because it looks like Christmas lights. So people will think, oh, there's a bunch of Christmas lights, and then come to the sale. We do have some Christmas lights, but not that many. To clarify, I'm not going to say they're Christmas lights, but when we got a picture showing the whole, like from the second level, showing the whole sales floor, it'll look like a bunch of Christmas lights out there. In case you were wondering, this is the train that I'm working on tonight. And in here. But I'm mostly gonna be working in here. Let's get some lights on. This is gonna be my spot. We are doing the Polar Express. It's kind of a cool train. Got this narrow hallway where I get to hang out with Santa Claus. I get to come out here while the train's moving. I got a delivery coming. So it is Sunday. I am very nervous that we're not going to be ready in time. I've got like another hour, 2 hours today maybe, before I need to go. I'm going to be gone tomorrow. So I'm just going to have 2 days to set up. But somebody is on their way to pick this guy up for $500. I don't even remember what retail was. It wasn't a super high dollar one. It's brand new. It's got oil, because there's no oil in it. It does need a little bit of assembly yet. But I paid $280 in that auction, and I'm selling it for $500. I did have someone offer me $800 for this one. I counted at $9. I have it listed at $1,000. I paid a little under $500, like $450, $480, something like that. And up here, I started going through a pallet of Amazon that Ben sorted. We've got decent selection of toys here. We're starting with the home home decor, home goods, stuff like that. This is like hardware and guy stuff. We got some good deals. There's a ceiling fan down here, 10 bucks. Over here, we've got electronics, office supplies, things like that. This is gonna be like clothing, accessories. And then over here, we're starting with health and beauty. I've got a pallet of these. I don't remember what I paid for them. They're all brand new. I'm putting little bits out at a time. Some cosmetics, electric toothbrushes, stuff like that. And just like that, that snowblower is sold, paid $280, sold it for $500. Again, a little less than $500 because the tax is built into that. So it's like $470 or something like that. All right, this is full until we add the last two tables. We got home improvement related things, outdoors, that type of stuff here. Toys filling up. We're starting more household down here. We're doing pretty good. Some decent stuff over here. And then next pallet is out. All right, this is what I'm gonna call it. I don't remember really where I left off. We got a whole bunch of Christmas stuff up over here. We're gonna run Christmas along this whole wall. I do need to get rid of these tables because these I wanna sell. So I just kind of set some extra Christmas on there. Some more decorative items and stuff here. Laundry detergent, more down there. We've got blankets. These were left over from last Christmas. But we sold through like a pallet of them and that was all that was left. So I figured rather than let those go on bag day, we'd let them go here. We'll probably sell most of them for 10. I don't remember if we had them as a special buy thing at like 3 or 5 bucks. I don't know, we'll see. A lot of this is like boutique stuff. It came out of a boutique that closed. So I don't know how well it'll do. Like 25 bucks was retail on this bell. Definitely not worth 25 here. Maybe someone will pay 10. It'll look like you got something from a fancy boutique. Who knows? So I still have to do all the Christmas, finish out these tables, that run, the 2 tables there. I've got to do the back wall, which I think is going to be about half tables, half special buy, and all the special buy stuff there, plus impulse items, clothing, which is going in that corner. I have a lot to do. I'm going to have 2 more days. So, getting down to the wire. This is stuff that was not picked up from the last auction. Several people said they were going to pick up today and still haven't. Like the person who got everything down there said she was gonna come pay and pick up today and she never showed up. But all the stuff that was here was picked up. That is in the auction that ends tonight, as well as this stuff and everything on here. So tomorrow, as this clears out, I'll be able to fill it in with special buy. Back here, we're gonna do some special buy. I've also got some Gaylords of stuff like Squishmallows that will go over here. I'm still not 100% sure what I'm gonna do with this back wall. So it is Tuesday, and the reason I'm not setting up for the sale that starts in 48 hours is because I forgot the battery charger for the camera at this house we're doing. So here's a little preview for what will probably be the first video after the warehouse sale. And right over here is what I need. Mitch is still working on auction, so he needs this. Yeah, it's a house full of stuff. And this will be sold after the sale is over. Look at this garage door. Seems like whenever we do an auction lately, there's a nearby house that has a really cool garage door. So I've mentioned on other videos how the wheels on carts, a lot of our carts are starting to disintegrate. And a while back I replaced that one because it had completely disintegrated and was just down to the plastic. This one you can see here is getting there. Now you can see here. This is going to fall apart at any time. So I'm going to replace it with a new one now. That way, in case it falls apart during the sale, I don't need to worry about it. Now these are super easy to take off. It's just a couple of bolts. You're gonna loosen it right off. There we go. Now, the way I was able to find the right wheel, I just measured it. You wanna measure that distance. You want to measure across, but you want to measure the hub here because that's what actually fits in there. The wheel itself doesn't matter. The hub, you can see, sticks out a little bit further. So you want to measure that, and then you want to measure this to make sure that you can go through. And sometimes they're labeled. This one doesn't appear to be labeled. So when I replaced it, you can see this one actually is labeled 8 by 2. That's 8 by 2, the width of the hub. It did come with hardware, but the hardware doesn't fit that well with this. So, there we go. We will tighten this down. We've got a new wheel. Of course, I gotta wrench that down. Now, I just realized these don't actually match. I bought them on the exact same Amazon listing. So what I might do is replace that one and save this one, so just so it looks nice, so I've got a matching set. But this, now this one hasn't disintegrated yet, so it's not really gonna be a noticeable difference pushing it. But when I replaced that one, it was a huge difference because it had disintegrated. All right, I swapped this one out, so now I have two new wheels. They're matching. I did this one like a year ago. This one's even got a port to grease it. Doesn't look like this one has that. But anyways, two new wheels. It costs about $20 per wheel, which is a lot cheaper than buying a whole new cart. Now, if I had to replace all 6 wheels, it might be cheaper to buy a new cart, but the 4 ones, they look fine for now. Maybe in a few years, I'll have to replace them. There, I mean, I don't really see any cracking or anything. You never know. These are the ones that most of the weight's on. This one, I'll save for the other cart when I need to replace it. The reason I swapped out the other one, even though it's like only a year old and works perfectly fine, it looks a little bit nicer since they match, but also, you know, I bought them on the same Amazon listing, so they should be the same thing. But the fact that they look different means something's odd. Maybe they changed their design, who knows. But I wanted to swap it out just in case there's some sort of difference. Maybe one is just slightly 8 1/4 inches where this one's 8 or something like that. That way, you know, less uneven wear happening on that cart. Now, it's a little buried, but back here you can kind of see the edge of it. I've got another one. I already replaced one of the wheels with the counterpart of this. So when the second wheel goes, I've got a replacement for it. This will also fit on my U-boats because this is actually a U-boat wheel. So I guess I don't know for certain, but it should fit as the center wheel on my U-boats if I need it for there. And I'll just put it in my box of replacement wheels. Count it. Sold the Toro snowblower, $1,000. I think I paid like $480, something like that. So all that's left are 3 Cub Cadets. I do have this one left. I haven't listed it yet though. I just finally took the pallet off of it, and it does in fact have the batteries and chargers. I was able to pull this strap off and look. So back to here, we're looking pretty good. Both sides of this are done. I did get a pallet of these in the auction, but I think I'm just gonna do day's price on them rather than special buy them for 10. We'll see how they go after the 2 $10 days are up. But this is filled up. All of this Christmas is done. I wasn't too thrilled with the Christmas pallets either. Most of the pallets I got seemed to be pretty deceitful, where they had nice stuff on top and junk on the bottom. At least the ones that were mixed pallets. That has nothing to do with the auction company. That's the consigners who bring it in. The auction company just listed it as mixed Christmas. I do have a little bit of space to fill in over here. These I'm gonna take a loss on. I paid $15 a piece in the store for them. I bought these 3 years ago. I listed them in November of 2022 on eBay, and I sold some. There was a Grinch one, I sold all of them, and I sold 2 of the Mickey ones because I had 5 of each. So overall, probably made money. I was selling them for like 50 or 60 bucks on eBay, but these ones just did not move. I did not sell a single one of this. Nobody likes that movie anyway, and only 2 of the Mickey ones. So I'm just gonna dump them here, $10 each. We're finally gonna be done with these. I bought a pallet of these several years ago, and we've been just selling them in the Christmas sale. We must have missed one case. There's one case left here. Over here, I bought a pallet of these boots, and they were selling on eBay, but they weren't flying out the door. I've got a little bit left. I've got maybe 5 each in size like 10, 11, and 12. I'm gonna put those here. We're gonna dump them. What else? That's about where we're at here. My goal, I've got about an hour and a half. My goal is to get the cash wrap set up, not necessarily product on it, but get it all set up, get the clothes racks out here, and get these last bits of table filled in. Then tomorrow, I can work on filling the impulse area and cash wrap and doing special buy. But I will need a little bit of space because we've got like that pallet of Christmas trees. I'm gonna have one of them completely set up and on display so people can grab a box, but they can see what it looks like. Time to bring these guys out. Cash wrap is set up here. I want to put the ring for beer bells on here, and then I've got a couple other things in mind. I've got room for one more clothes rack here. We already started setting these up. This, because it's in the corner, the clothes are only going to go on one side, and it makes it very tippy, so I always take some bale wire and just tether it to this conduit, and it's fine. So I want to put up the ring for a beer bell, and I noticed a ring for wine, so there are different ones. And then I realized there were 5 different ones here, so we've got 3 cases. I've got one of each already up front. So we've got 3 cases of ring for wine, 2 cases, well, 1.5, the partial one, of ring for beer. We've got 3 cases of ring for a hug, and we've got 4 cases of ring for toilet paper, and then 1 case of ring for a kiss. This would actually be a good wedding one. I could see someone buying a bunch of these to put a couple of these on each table or something at a wedding. But anyways, I'm glad I figured out that there were a bunch of different ones. Undecided if this is better. I feel like this is better because someone might buy multiple now. Who knows? The hug one, I don't think it's gonna do all that well. The wine one, maybe. I think the kiss one, the beer one, and the toilet paper one, I think those 3 will do pretty well. But now I'm not as deep in the SKU because it's actually 5 SKUs. All right, hopefully these do well. I've got the whole assortment and then an extra row for kiss. I think that one's gonna do the best. I think one of these 2 will probably do the best, maybe toilet paper, but I had room for an extra, so I picked that one. So it is 8 p.m., that's where I'm gonna call it tonight. I have got 1 day left, but not a lot to do. Finish filling in these little gaps on the tables. I got 1.5 here, that's the biggest amount. And then once this clears out, do special buy here, special buy or whatever's going there. 1 more rack of clothes, impulse area, and signage, and we're good to go. I think I can be ready by the end of the day tomorrow. I don't think I'll be here super late. So I'm finally letting these go, the last 10 of them. There's a Milwaukee hard hat, but it's actually like a pen organizer here. They used it, it would have actually been in the store to display their markers. But I was getting 40 bucks a piece for these on eBay. I had a ton of them, which I had in the sale last year, or 2 years ago, I think. And this is just kind of all that's left. So finally getting rid of the last of them here. Funny part is I just sold one on eBay today for 40 bucks. But I sell like 2 a year, so it's not worth hanging on to anymore. So we have a mouse problem again. Look at this, there are 4 of them just sitting here taunting me. Sometimes it's fun seeing what kind of little things Ben finds that he likes to display around the warehouse. So it's 7 p.m., we open in 13 hours. I am exhausted. I'm just gonna have to call it and try to get here super early tomorrow morning to finish up. I do have signs for all of these. I'm quickly adding them to the the checkout screen. The Nerf guns I was gonna do individually. They're all pretty comparable in price. This one is going for like 55 bucks on Amazon, but all the other ones are like $16 to $25. So I'm just gonna do $10 each. The most expensive one that I have here is $4.67 was my cost. And then they go down just under $3 on some of the cheaper ones. So I think $10 they'll move well. I'm doing $8.99 on these. My cost was about 5 bucks. I'm doing $7 on these. I bought these over the summer. I don't remember what my cost was, but it really wasn't much. The comforters, my cost is just over $10 a piece. I'm doing $19.99. Over here, the bells, oh, that doesn't go there. The bells are gonna be $2.99 each. These are going to be 5 bucks each. I paid too much for those. I paid almost $3 a piece for them. We've got clothes set up. I need to get this done. I still need to do the back wall yet. Move some of these tables out of the way, the ones that aren't being used. These are gonna be whatever the day's price is. These will be 5 bucks. These leggings, undecided on price, but these are nice fleece line leggings. So we'll have those out. And then the trees, we set one up. It is pre-lit. I've got an outlet down here, so I'm gonna plug this in tomorrow. I might shape the tree a little bit more. The bike, I wonder if it already has a price tag. Yes, it already has a price tag from the last sale, so I'm just gonna rotate that so you can see it. There's still so much to do here. I know I'm often a little bit behind, and I always say I wish I had an extra day, but losing Monday really hurt. I went through and looked at all my prices and auctions. I don't know why I spent so much on this. My cost is like $9.30 or something a piece for these hair tools. And we're hoping to sell most of them on $10 a day. I think I'm gonna take a loss on that one. That was just a dumb purchase. But the tables, oh, I've got a little space right here. It's not a big deal if we open, and that's there. We're set up over here. We've got the boots. Most of them are weird sizes. 5.5 and 8 aren't gonna be super common. 12 and 9 I think should do all right though. I think those will sell pretty fast. We got a bunch of smalls here, Taylor Swift stickers and shoe charms and jewelry and all sorts of different stuff in here. The impulse items that we put in the baskets here, I'm just gonna have to wait on. Maybe I have time to do them tomorrow, but it'll probably be the last thing I do. If I need to set these up after we open, it's not the end of the world. So basically my goal for tomorrow, I need to have this full, at least the main shelf, the bottom, not as important, at least have the main shelf full, the back wall done, anything that's not part of the sale out of here, like that computer, the pallet jack, the dolly, the tables, there's one leaning up over there. And then I can start working on other things like the impulse items and stuff like that. Very stressful day, but you know what's helping me get through it? The Kit Kat bars that Brad sent me from Japan. I just had cheesecake flavored Kit Kats and they were very good. If you remember the last sale, we had internet issues. Our internet would not reach out here anymore. And so we were running off of a Verizon wireless hotspot the entire sale. I think that'll be fixed for this one. And you come up here, we've got an access point running here. These work their way back to the actual router in the office area. Down here, there's a power over Ethernet or PoE injector, which I've plugged here. This was like 50 bucks. This was like, I don't know, 175, something like that. And then I got another thing, which isn't hooked up yet, but it's gonna go in the office area. That's this same brand. Right now, I am not a networking guy or a techie guy, but I needed to learn because they quoted me, I had a company in here and they quoted me like 1,200 bucks to do what I just did for 225. But I think I've got it decent. The issue is when I come in here, I lose that Wi-Fi signal. It runs it as 2 separate networks. So I have this, which I'm gonna set up in here to essentially replace the Spectrum router. And this will give me internet in here and it should be seamless to outside. And that should cover the office and the front half of the warehouse, which are the 2 areas that's most important for Wi-Fi. The weird thing is, if any of you are techie, I need help here. Because I'm getting, I don't really have time for this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Whoa, this is really bad. This was like 80 the other day. Let's try running it again. Because I had just signed into this Wi-Fi when I ran it. Maybe it just took a minute. Okay, so that's better. But still, why is this going so slow? For reference, mind you, it's right up there. For reference, this is what I'm getting from the Spectrum router in the office, which is on the other side of a brick wall and then 40 feet beyond that. Now, this will not reach where the cash registers are, which is why we had the problem before, but why is there such a big difference? Like I said, you can see it yet? Oh, you can see a little blue light there. There it is connected via Ethernet cable to the power injector, which is connected to the switch, which is connected via Ethernet cable into here to the Spectrum router, or maybe the modem, I'm not sure. So it's all hardwired to that. Why is it so much slower? Here's how it finished, 15. It was like 80 before, I don't know why, it's shockingly slow now. Okay, that picks it up. So what I did here is in the app, I shut off the 2.4 gigahertz connection. Then I disconnected it, my computer from the Wi-Fi, reconnected it, and it seems to be going a lot faster on the 5 gigahertz connection. So, but it's still significantly slower. Here, significantly slower. It's still doing the upload, but the download was 88 to the 206 coming from the 2.4 gigahertz from the other room. I don't understand why. So if anybody can explain to me what I'm doing wrong, and please explain it to me as if you're talking to a child, because I barely understand the things that I'm saying. And there's a lot of YouTube videos and research to figure out what those words mean. Please help me. All right, so we've got some signs up here. So I'll need to fill that in. Signs here. And then stuff is shifted around a little bit here. Boy, I've got a lot to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to be here for 3 or 4 a.m., which means I'm gonna be up really early. My feet are killing me. I need to be done for the day. I'm wearing these shoes, which are waterproof, causing my feet to overheat because I've been wearing tennis shoes with a giant hole in the side for the last few months, which is just really, my feet are just killing me. So I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna sleep for a few hours, I'm gonna come back, and it's gonna be a very long day tomorrow. Now with advertising, in the past few sales, I've been bad at doing ads, and this one is no different, but I'm a little bit better. On Monday I was gone. Tuesday, I sent out the text to all the tech subscribers, reminding them of the sale. I did the first post for the sale on Friday, second one on Tuesday, and one today. The one today was also on Facebook Marketplace. The other posts were just on our Facebook page for the sale. What else? I think that's about it. I would like to be doing more frequent posts, but also, as usual, the Facebook header had the dates and the flyer. Have you seen the flyer yet? The flyer from the last sale has the dates for this sale. So here is our flyer. I really like the look of this. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And then the back has the dates for the next sale. The last one was similar. So we should be okay here. And you might remember from a different video, I redid this so I can fish this in here now. I think that's on a video that's already been launched. So now we don't have this big Ethernet cord just in the way. Now it's out of the way. That is for the cash register for the auction. It is very cold. It's 2 degrees out. Probably much colder with the wind chill. And I'm very tired. Let's get finished up. All right, I'm as set up as I will be. Bags. These are the boutique Christmas ornaments. I mean, they came from a boutique store. Oh, crap. Some of these have less than $10 price tags on them. I'm gonna have to bring this back. We'll just have to put it out on like $6 a day or something. See, a lot of these are higher. Ben should have been looking at these when he put them up. All right, I'll bring this back. I filled in this area here, this area here. I got the tree lit up. And then these pajama pants, this will just go in after we open, whatever goes there. That's where we're gonna have to leave it because I still need to print signs and get these few things in the system. I brought a snowblower up here. All we have left are 3 Cub Cadets, and I'm still thinking about taking one home myself, so maybe just 2. We'll see how well they do. We usually don't sell expensive things in the sale because they just don't go, but this is really discounted and it's something that everybody needs up here, so maybe it'll go. And from what I'm hearing, all the hardware stores around here are completely sold out of snowblowers. So that is it for this video. Be sure to check out part 2, which is gonna be the first week of the sale. That'll probably be coming up next week. And I will see you then.